Open your ears and lube up your butthole. It's time for the What Do We Call It podcast. Now, here's your host. It's Jmann. Welcome to the What Do We Call It podcast. I'm Jmann.
And I'm number one fan Tim.
I would like to share some more stories from the road from my current job.
Okay.
Because I drive a lot, I'm at a lot of stoplights. When you're sitting at those, there's frequently homeless people.
Yep, begging for cash.
Well, today, I pulled up to a stoplight, and I'm pulling up, and there's this black lady standing there. And she's kind of holding a sign, you know, and half dancing and shit. So I look, just a quick glance, and she waves. And then I'm sitting at the light, and I look again, and it's like she was waiting for me to get eye contact. And when I look again, she's like,
"Hey there, big boy."
Yeah, it's not hi waving. It's like, hey, with that one hand clapping sort of wave.
$50.
Yeah, I probably could have asked how much and would have been quoted a price. Because I was like, you know what, fuck it. I got this bag of change in my door. And, you know, I wave back. She's like, hey, baby, I see you. And I'm like, she just called me baby. All right, I'm 90% sure at this point between that wave and the baby that this woman used to be a prostitute or stripper at some point in her life.
At some point, maybe.
So I hold up this bag of change and she starts walking towards me, right? And there's definitely a fucking shake in that walk.
I'm going to make it hail.
Yeah, no, I didn't just fucking whip it at her face. It was a Ziploc baggie with like $3.50 and change. I'm like, I don't carry cash. This is all I got, but I don't even know how much it is here. She's like, oh, thank you, baby. Thank you. Good looking out, baby. And she like petted my fucking elbow because my arm was on the window ledge there. I'm like, take care of yourself. She's like, oh, you too, baby. Good looking out. I appreciate it, baby. If she would have fucking called me daddy, I'd be 100% sure that she used to be a whore. But the fact that she's like, baby, 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 I'm thinking, wow, she is going to get 45 cents out of that bag, and the rest is going to go to her shitbag pimp who's going to punch her in the fucking mouth if she doesn't give him the whole bag and he thinks that she's holding out on him. Second thought is, man, I wonder just how hard up she was. Like,
she's probably bored, so she started dancing.
Maybe, but she's definitely playing the John angle. She's trying to, like, be somewhat seductive.
There might have been a couple of people out there that might have offered her.
She wasn't in that good a shape, but seriously, with the bag, I should have been like...
Some people don't care. A mouth is a mouth.
Right, that's where I'm going with this. And I'm holding up the bag. I should have pulled it back like, You need a ride? May I drive you anywhere?
Can you give me directions? Can you actually show me how to get there?
I'm willing to transport you to another location, and you can have this money in exchange for, wink, wink, helping me. I just really would like for you to pull your lips down so I may see inside of them. I want to check the quality of the goods. At that point, it sounds like you're checking out a fucking horse because you're checking the mouth out, but I'm not looking for tooth rot. I'm looking for fucking cold sores. I am not above...
Be sure you fuck the one that cough.
Well, that's the thing, is it's like, you know, you go and you get a blowjob from like a 45-year-old black lady that looks like she could have been an extra on Good Times. Then you come home from work and your wife's like, how's your day? I'm like, I had to go to court. I had to fucking wait because the first case was like this Somali kid with autism who needed a new power of attorney, but his interpreter didn't show up. And then there was a second case where the Hmong interpreter showed up, and then the fucking person who he was there to help didn't show up. And then there was the case after that actually was taken, third on the docket, and that was a mess because clearly the person trying to get guardianship over his mother is out to get her money and can't wait for her to die. And then it was my turn.
And I got a blowjob.
And then afterwards, I stopped at Target to get some chicken fingers, and then on my ride back to the office, I let a homeless woman ride with me so she wouldn't have to take the bus because she didn't have any money. Why would you do that? Because, damn it, she's willing to do the things that you won't do, and she did it for a bag of change.
I told you about that one time I picked up a hitchhiker when I was working late one night, didn't I?
I don't know. It's not really ringing.
I just got done closing a road. It was like 10 o'clock at night. And as I was, filling out my paperwork real quick and everything, I still had my strobes and everything on. A woman knocks on the passenger window, and it's like, well, I don't have power windows in this truck, so she comes over to the driver's side. I was like, "Can I help you?" She's like, "Yeah, my car broke down just down the road. I ran out of gas. I don't have any money or anything. Could you possibly give me a ride?" I'm like, "Where are you going?" And she told me where she was going, and it was literally like a mile and a half down the road.
Mm-hmm.
I was just like, I look in my rear mirror. There's a car down the way, a couple blocks down, with its four ways flashing. I'm like, she's small. I think I can take her. All right.
She's small.
Yeah. She tries pulling some shit. I might be able to fight her off.
Yeah, you might almost be able to stop that bleeding from your fucking jugular vein after she quick slices you.
Who knows? So I like, all right, I'll give her a ride. So she gets in. I drive. We get to the stoplight, and she's sitting there. She's like, she's just making small talk, and then she's like, "So, do you like women?" I'm like, "Excuse me?" And she's like, "Well, I saw your calendar in your truck. I had a nudie little sticky calendar in my truck." I was like,
classy.
I was like, "Well, yeah, I guess." Well, the guy gave it to me, and I need to know what day it is. And she's like, "Oh, okay," and then she's like, "I'll give you a blowjob for $20." I'm like, "What?" And like,
You've never told me this, you
I never have?
motherfucker. Why have you held out on this?
I didn't want it well known, I guess. I don't know.
What, that you got offered a Hummer? You got proposition, so what? It could have been an off-duty cop who was undercover.
That's what I was just thinking. It's like, I freaked out. The light's still red, but I let go of the clutch and just went through the red light. And she's like, "You're just running around." "Oh, wait, yeah, this truck, I suppose you can." I was like, "Well, no, not really. I just want to get you where you're going." So she repeats her offer. I was like, "I can't. I'm married." She's like, "So?"
Bing bong, hello.
I'm like, this is when I was
Whoa.
This is when I was Leadhead.
Whoa. You're bartering with yourself.
I didn't have any cash.
I like that that's the most questionable part of this equation that's a roadblock to use. I didn't have any cash.
I just...
I don't know this woman and what she's really about.
I was never
so
going to get one from her, but yeah.
You don't know. She might have let you fuck her in the mouth.
No. She was offering, but...
And then she swallows, and then she pulls out her dick.
Peekaboo! No. So I dropped her off. I was like, "Hey, you might, in future, might want to call family, friends or something before you start offering strangers things." And she's like, "No, okay, I got it." But the whole rest of the way, I'm driving back to our shop. I'm like, "What, was that a cop? Was this a sting that I was a part of?" And now she's, calling up her backup and be like, "This guy didn't go for it." I mean, or was this just legit a chick that needed $20 and then she figured this is the best way to get it? I'll never know, because I never would have, even if I had cash, I wasn't going to get one.
You liar!
I'm not paying somebody for a BJ.
Okay, so you shouldn't say, "I'm not going to get one." What you need to say is, "I wasn't going to partake." Because saying, "I'm not going to get one," sounds like you think she's just making it up. Like, "Yeah, okay," and you pull your cock out. She's like, "What are you doing, pervert?"
I'm not going to partake. Okay.
What year was this? Jesus.
13 years ago?
13 years ago.
So 2006? 2007? Somewhere there.
The economy wasn't what it used to be at that point. It was post 9/11 America, so you got to do what you got to do.
Post 9/11, yeah, the economy was starting to go downhill. So.
I think you should have done it seriously, because once you stop letting female hitchhikers suck your dick for money, that's when the terrorists win.
But I had...
They have scared us into not being willing to be Americans.
I can't believe I never told you this story before.
Yeah, you son of a bitch.
I think you're probably the third person I've told it to, and I had not told it to the missus. So.
Well, you kind of just did.
She doesn't listen.
You never know.
I know someone who does, but I'm pretty sure he won't bring it up.
Well, you never know. Oh, dear sweet God. You should have...
So you got any other stories?
Well, no, the crux of this one was just the fact that there's so many sweet scenarios that could happen after you pick up the hitchhiker gal. Like, get in. And you just jingle the bag of change. And then you just drive her down the block and go, "Okay, get out." "What do you mean?" "Well, here's the money." "Don't you want anything for it?" "No, that looked like a dangerous corner. I figured I'd transport you to someplace safer." You know what would be funny is if I was trolling for homeless chicks to service me, I would carry a bunch of bags of change, but the joke would be on them because I'd give it to them after I'm finished and they get out of the car and I hand them a Taco Bell napkin to wipe their chin, and then they get a block down the road and realize it's all Canadian.
Gotcha, bitch!
That's
yeah,
funny.
all those fucking stupid elk pennies or deer pennies, whatever that shit is.
Beaver nickels and I think elk quarters.
Yeah.
I don't know what their pennies are.
Have I talked about the public housing authority apartment complexes that I go to?
No.
There's some sketchy ass ones, and there was this one in particular I
In
went
Minneapolis? No.
to. St. Paul.
No.
There's a shit ton of them in St. Paul. I get into this elevator, and when I say I get in, I get 1 foot in the door, and I just say 1, please, and the door shuts. The first 2 seconds I'm in there, there's this blonde chick and this little Hispanic guy, and she looks at me and goes, "Did you fart?" It's the first thing she
You're
fucking
already
said
being
to me.
accused of assault.
I'm like, Jesus Christ. I'm like, no. And even if I did, you wouldn't smell it that fast. And
you'd
she
be
looks
dead.
at him and she's like, "Did you fart?" And he's like, "No, I didn't." Yeah, well, the elevator had to go up before it went down. So somebody clearly farted, and it was probably her.
Maybe just... Oh, yeah, maybe. She's trying to pass the blame.
I don't know. She probably could have been about 30, 35, blonde, yeah, a little bit rough, but not too bad looking.
I would have just told her, you smelt it, you dealt it.
Yeah, right. So anyways, the Hispanic guy gets off, and the door shuts again. I'm like, fuck. So now it's just me and this fucking poor skank, and I'm standing there, and I'm just, I got my hands in front of me folded, and I can see it on my peripheral vision. She's giving me the up and down look. And I'm just
She's
thinking,
like, I can take him.
if I give her eye contact, am I going to get proposition? You never know.
Just stare at the fucking door and don't move.
Well, at that point, you just go, so, do you like living here? Is it nice enough?
Does the air conditioning in your apartment work? Because the air conditioning apartment I'm going to never works.
But I'm just thinking, how desperate is this woman? Because I clearly look way better off than most of the fucking people that live here. It's Section 8, and a few of the other dudes I saw down in the lobby look like hippies that fuck each other for something to do because they don't have jobs or money to go do fun shit. And they both smell like they've been fucking jogging for 3 days without a shower. And I'm pretty sure
Lovely
that
image.
it wouldn't have taken much for her to be like, "So you'd like want to come hang out at my apartment?" No. Why? What did you have in mind? My mind always goes there with these. Go ahead, fucking say something inappropriate, and I'm going to say something way more inappropriate back.
I'm going to make this uncomfortable really quick.
Well, I just should have been like, "So that was some fart, or was it a queef? Wash your pussy." And then she gets out of the elevator all angry at me.
You've heard of Vagiclean, right?
Maybe she needs Siberian Splash to wash out her gagoosh. Which is a commercial I made for Blumpkin and Friends.
Yay!
I'm going to end with this doozy. I go to a lot of meetings.
I feel so bad for you.
Case managers, other social workers, min choice assessors. Anyways, so a lot of these people that I have to meet sometimes, I won't see their face ahead of time. Obviously, I'm going in blind. But I know their name. I go into a meeting one time. This is last year. And I sit down, and I only see the right side of this person's face. So I walk in, I'm like, "Hi, nice to meet you." We communicated on the phone and via email. And I sit down, and I'm talking to my client. So I'm looking at the client, and then I look back at the lady, and I go, "Fuck."
Oh, dear God, no!
Stroke face. One half of her face, the entire left side, has a post-stroke droop.
Oh, bummer.
Do you have any idea how fucking hard it was to keep my shit together? Because it's not just, "Oh, okay, she's had a stroke." Well, one, I'm not going to ask. It seems pretty fucking self-evident that life did not deal this woman a decent hand recently. So now I'm faced with a dilemma. If I don't look at her, she might notice and think, "Oh, he can't look at me because of my stroke face." And if I do look at her too much, she's going to think, "Oh, he's staring at my stroke face.
So grotesque.
This sensitive son of a bitch." And then she goes and runs out of the room and goes and fills up a bathtub and jumps in with a toaster at home. I could be the straw that breaks this woman's back where she's like, "Fuck, I can't take it anymore." Done. And then she leaves a lovely note for her parents because she lives at their house because after the stroke, her husband couldn't bear the sight of her.
Oh, bitch.
Boy, you took that down a road.
I did. He only did her from behind.
One of the staff at my children's school, her eyes are...
They face outward.
They face outward. So, like, whenever I'm talking to her, and I talk to her, almost every time I see her, when I go to the school, I see her. So I say hi to her, because I kind of know her from dealing with the kids and everything. She's a special education teacher. Mm-hmm. And I don't know which eye to look at.
Isn't that a bitch? You're like, fuck.
I look at that one, I look at that one, I look around, I try to make eye contact, so it's not, but it's like, ma'am, I'm really sorry, but I don't know how to react to this.
So the bulk of that meeting, I was making plenty of eye contact, but also making sure to look at my client so that I made it look like I was not trying to get over freaking the fuck out over stroke face. And then, I was just business as usual, looking at her, looking at him, looking at her, looking at him. Ha, ha, ha. We're telling jokes. The atmosphere's light. We're doing what we need to do. We're getting the meeting over with. Got the fuck out of there, and I was just like, whew. I think I held it together pretty well.
That could have gone better.
It fucking could have, yeah. So, I didn't remember her name. Last month, I go to a meeting. Same client. Didn't dawn on me. And I walk in, and I'm like, fuck. It's Stroke Face. Because I haven't been referring to her by her name. I only call her Stroke Face.
Oh, way to go.
Which is very dignifying, by the way. And thank fucking God she didn't sit across from me this year. I made sure to get a chair next to her at a 90-degree angle so we wouldn't have to make eye contact.
Which side?
The non-stroke side. Obviously.
Some people...
Well, the client was sitting on the stroke side. I'm like, fucking thanks for taking that bullet. Yeah, and then I made it to the meeting easy peasy. It was no big deal. But yeah, shit like that all the time. Like, I had a fucking case manager. Or I just want you to picture a woman who kind of looks like Connie Chung. Only, I was trying to make eye contact while we were all talking at a table of 4 of us. And I noticed that only one of her eyes was following the conversation. The other one didn't move. So then I spent 25 minutes zoning out, thinking, does this bitch have a glass eye? I wonder how often she cleans it. I wonder if it's a prosthetic or maybe she's just got, like, some sort of retina detachment and some bitch don't move. Like, my fucking ADD went off the wall. And then, she looks at me at the end, and as she's looking at me,
I'd like to think I have a detail for her.
The fake eye is looking at me. But because she's at a 60-degree angle to me, face to face, her right eye is pointed towards her nose, so it looks like this. Like she's got one eye looking at her nose. And I'm like, oh, fuck me. Just get me out of the goddamn car so I can go to Target and get some fucking chicken fingers. Jesus Christ.
Oh, it's the same day, huh?
No. I frequently will drown my sorrows in Target deli chicken fingers. It's just kind of my go-to.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what I do with Mountain Dew and Star Crunches.
Interact with the show on Twitter at What Do We Call It? That is at What Do We Call It? You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/group/What Do We Call It Podcast Show. For the What Do We Call It Podcast, I'm Jmann.
And I'm number 1 fan Tim.
And that's the end.